he just did not seem to have the capacity to learn how to tune it up, basic stuff. So he wanted me to put it up for sale. And Paul, I don't know if you remember Paul, K2LMQ, wanted it. So I loaded it into the Pinto Valdez and went to Haas Traders. Greeted me right when I rolled in and gave me the money for it and went home with it. And he's out in Nevada. I don't know if he's still with us, but he was still using it. I was out there in 02, 03. I was visiting with Dennis, W7QHO. I think that was his call. Big guy in the military radio net. He was very active on AM. He was doing a job for Armstrong Transmitter for KPFK. Transmitter up on Mount Wilson. That was really something. So, Dennis lived in Glendale, nearby, it's like a burb of Los Angeles. And ANAN, my employer, put me up in a hotel in Glendale. It's like, wow. So I got a hold of Dennis, and we hooked up. I met a whole lot of people out there. Mike DeRoe, KO6NM, many people. And, it was quite a rush being out there. So, I was on at Dennis's. I visited him on Sunday, and he's on 40 meter AM. And there's Paul, K2LMQ. And he was on the air with the Gold King. I think Bill, KC2IFR, kind of wanted something like that. So I told him, Dennis, do you want to sell it? Oh, no, I'm not parting with this thing. So that's the thing about the Gold King 500. It makes a very good medium power transmitter when fixed up correctly. So getting back to the one that I got later on, I had a very clean CVM5, and I've always gone into stuffing big pieces of iron into small spaces, and after taking a tape measure and measuring the dimensions on the Gold King modulator chassis and all that, I figured it could be done. It was going to be the beginning of what I call sunken garden construction. It's like what I did to make the Junction 600 happen and whatnot. So I just had the stuff sitting around, and then I started working out at Armstrong, and I just was hardly home. Then the fire happened, and I lost everything, all that stuff. Gold King 500, CVM 5, up in the fire. But as I was cleaning up, the modulator deck for the Gold King 500 sat in the bottom of the rack. I put it there while I was taking measurements and put the power supply up above, which didn't have any plate iron on it. So after the fire, I looked at the thing and said, I can clean this up. And I did. It was a therapy project in 2001 into 02. And I got it working. And you're listening to it right now. This is that Gold King modulator, all cleaned up, really fixed up. And they make a great modulator for like a 100 to 150 watt transmitter, not in the Gold King 500. So meanwhile, Warren W1LO has had the Gold King 500. The RF section of it was not bad. The rest of it, power supply, modulator, and all that, is a real basket case. A lot of stuff missing, not in the best of cosmetic condition, but, the basic chassis in there are there, and no rack. But a few years earlier at Nearfest. I'm always looking at racks. I recognized a rack for Globe King 500, and I grabbed it and that out in the shop trailer. So I said, wow, now I got a transmitter to put in the rack. So now that's sitting up in the bunker. I put casters on it and all that, and then I was able to wheel and deal with Bruce, WA3JVJ, and I have gotten a later model, CVM5, and it's been a project that's been waiting and waiting, but very recently I got up there with a cut-off saw, and I cut into things, and I've already got the CVM5 fitted in there. It does fit. I've laid everything out. And now, I've got the power supply all figured out. I've taken photos of it. I got to label them and load them into my computer. So if you're interested, I could send you the photo of how to stuff a CVM5 onto a Globe King 500 modulator chassis. And plate transformer I'm going to be using as a triad transformer. They'll deliver 1500 volts at a half amp. And the power supply's been all figured out. It's all laid out. I just have to start drilling and blasting, slicing and dicing. And once I get all the holes drilled, then I gotta scrub down the chassis completely, both of them, and paint them so it looks good. Looks are half the battle, Dirk. And that's the story. So I don't know when I'll get this thing on the air, but I made some immense strides. But the whole thing I want to do is before the weather starts getting cold, is to do the metal work, get everything painted, and then all I got to do is wire it up. So you may be hearing me on the Globe King 500, but not the kind of power that they typically would deliver. So I'm looking forward to that, and it's going to be stationed in the bunker as a day-to-day transmitter. WA2CYT. Let me check the drift. Boy, now it's wandered slightly. It's almost dead nuts on. I'm liking it. WA2CYT. Buzzard for testing. This WA1H LR.